All right, everyone, welcome back. This is Aluminum Tarot, okay? I'm going to go ahead and read for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm going to go ahead and get your reading up for today and hope that all is well with you and that you've had a wonderful holiday season. Um, what we're going to do, we're going to talk a little bit about the energies taking place in January 2025. I'll follow up with some readings after I finish this series to kind of peer into some other types of topics, some that are collective, some that are focused on individual signs. So that said, if you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding that notification bell as also, so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. And furthermore, if you would like a personal reading with me, one that is in tune with your specific energies and not those of the collective, kindly reach out to me at the information provided in the description box below. So Libra, you're going to be up now. We're going to go ahead and get a 1 month window from now and month onwards about what's going to take place in your life, whether that is love, career, or otherwise. We'll let the cards speak to us today about what exactly will take place. So, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of January 2024. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising for the month of January 2025. Sorry, good grief. 2025 already, isn't it? What is taking place for Libra for the month of January 2025? One more. Yeah, we definitely don't want any reruns for these readings. That even also relates double to X's coming back and all of that junk, because we don't do that here on Aluminum Tarot now, do we? Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Libra's current energy. Libra's past energy, recent past. Libra's future, near future energy. Okay. So let's take in there. All right, what's that Libra's core? What is in Libra's crown position? What is the penultimate energy for Libra by the end of January 2025? Let's go ahead and get that out. What is the penultimate energy? Please clarify the penultimate energy or outcome January 2025. So, bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So you're dealing with a lack of clarity on something. I'm going to go ahead and pull a Moonology card that hopefully will give us a few more insights as to what's taking place with the Libra for that month. So we have believe in the impossible. So this is the blue moon. So the blue moon comes every so often, which is why we say once in a blue moon. And it's not necessarily a, a fated event, but when it does come in, it teaches us that we can be at our fullest potential when, we do manifest, the rarities that happen in our life, the things that become very serendipitous, things that we don't expect to take place, but do take place. That's what gives us kind of the miracle and the magic of what is human existence. And so what I'd like to see here is what's taking place in your life, Libra, that is going to lead to that. What is the challenge for Libra? All right. So what we have here, we have the world as your current energy right now. And what that is telling us is that you have completed a cycle, or that you're wrapping something up and allowing yourself to feel like a full and complete individual self. You may have gone through a very difficult cycle in the past, but you have traveled through the fool's journey. So when people talk about the world being, relating to travel, Yes, it can relate to long distance travel across the world. That is an indicator. And depending on the spread, it would indicate that it would show us based on the signs around it. But in this, the Fool goes through a specific journey all the way from the Fool card, 0, all the way into 21, which is the World card. And so what we understand here is that we are now going into a place where we have matured so much that we have manifested into the material world, terra firma, our new self. And that is something that we should celebrate, because going through the trials and tribulations of the Fool's journey is not for the faint of heart. And what we're learning now is that even if we're going through difficulties at the current moment, it has allowed us to level up and become a better person. The challenge here is the Hangman reverse, is getting the insights attained from those specific journeys that you have taken through the Fool's procession. And with the Hangman reverse, sometimes it can say that we may need to fully understand the lesson within that. The Hangman puts itself in an uncomfortable position so that it can learn what is needed and gain insights so that it can receive a bit of enlightenment. We see that through the sun in the Hangman position here, the Hangman drawing. Two things can happen with the Hangman in reverse. You finally learned those lessons, and you're coming out of that period of introspection, similar to the Hermit reverse, which you also have here in the recent past. Or it can indicate that you still have yet to learn those lessons. But I see here, since your energy is in the world, in the upright, you have completed that cycle. And the recent past, like the Hermit, you're opposite, because the Hangman is Pisces and the Hermit is Virgo. You had a period in which you finally were able to come out of a long, difficult process. And this could have dealt with someone who was potentially a King of Swords, uh, possibly narcissistic, possibly unclear in their communication with people. But we have here two cards that have come out here. The Hermit reverse has been clarified with the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, both in the reverse. I've shuffled this deck many, many times, and yet here we are. We have the King and Queen of Swords, both in the reverse. So this can represent someone who is an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, a couple who have these air qualities within themselves. One can be an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and the other one can be the same. Usually the Queen of Swords is Libra. Usually the King of Swords is like Gemini or Aquarius. So if you're dealing with any of these signs, this reading would definitely be for you. We have here the Ace of Pentacles, but it fell on its side. And we can clarify that briefly. Clarify the Ace of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles in the reverse. So what you have here is a solid, stable foundation beginning to crumble and fall apart brick by brick throughout the process of their engagement together. Whether or not this is a couple, a work relationship, or maybe a relationship to yourself, you apply the energies as it resonates within your specific life, because these are merely reflecting what's taking place. Now, since this is in the Earth realm with Ace of Pentacles and the Hermit being a Virgo card, and that is also an Earth sign, I would say this has to do with your stability, either in a romantic relationship or your finances. And what you're trying to do now, you're coming out of a period of introspection about how the relationship you had with someone else, who you saw to be your equal, but what it was is two people living a life that was completely unclear. And furthermore, it was to your detriment. Sometimes we can crave someone or we want to be with someone, and our interactions with them drag our energy down. They can destroy us, they can abuse us, they can financially or emotionally manipulate us. And when that takes place, it's time for us to leave. It's time for us to come out of this period of isolation you may have felt And in doing so, actually pulls you out of the so-called foundation that you've had. This is why the Ace of Pentacles is on its side. It's asking us, is this really a safe and solid foundation that you have built and developed for yourself? Or was this something that was an offer that was too good to be true? We're going from the Ace of Pentacles to the Two of Pentacles, clarifying that in the reverse, meaning that it is overwhelming what you have chosen. Accepting this offer seemed great at the time, but then as life progressed, you began to realize it was too much to juggle, too much burden to bear, almost getting Ten of Swords and Ten of Wands vibes as well. What we're moving into in the future doesn't look very promising, but we can talk a little bit about it. So the Page of Swords in the reverse and the High Priestess. It's less about simply studying, but it's almost like before you say the wrong things, before you do the wrong things, before you get confused about a situation, trust your inner intuition and let that be your guide. Focus less on the intellect and more on your intuition as to how to navigate what comes next after this difficult period. If you have been disappointed by someone, you are finally getting over that, which is the Five of Cups in the reverse, and the Sun in the reverse can also point to two things. Either A, yes, it will hurt. It will hurt like hell to let someone go. But on the other hand, what you're also doing is you're allowing yourself to shine inward. So the sun pointing towards the reader talks about an internal process. And what that can say to us is that we need to find our inner light. That is what you have been doing with the hermit in the reverse in the past. The sun in the reverse, you may feel drained in the process of healing from this loss, this difficult relationship that you had. But more importantly, it is important for you now to move forward in life, focused more so on your inner voice and how it can guide you. Hermit on this side, High Priestess on this side, Hangman. It's all about pointing towards your intuition, moving away from the material world that you once thought was important to you and moving towards the intuitive world, which is going to help you release the negative feelings of failure, which are indicated in the penultimate outcome here. Um, at the core of your reading is strength. You have had your core rocked by this particular issue, and what was rocked by all of this was your Ten of Cups, your family life, your strength, your happiness that you have built. Because of course, these Ten of Cups here are stacked one on top of another, and that takes a bit of an effort to actually do. You have the Four of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Ace of Cups at the top. That's what I'm getting from here. Of course, the rainbow in the background shows that you've gone through difficulties in order to make this happen, but it is happening, or it did happen at one specific point where you realize the maximum of your happiness in life through a life partnership or potentially through an achievement of sorts. Now we move into what we know already, which is the Eight of Swords. Clarify the Eight of Swords spirit. The Eight of Swords and the King of Cups. So when we have the two of these two together, on the outside, it may appear that you are grounded emotionally or holding it all together, but on the inside, we know that you feel like you're falling apart. There are things that are blocking your intellectual um, understanding of why all of this is taking place. So with the Eight of Swords, yes, it may feel like times can be very difficult, but with the King of Cups, he is mature enough to know how to navigate his emotions, to accept things, and to take accountability on their side as to how all of this took place. So I see you actually moving away from the Eight of Swords into the King of Cups. Potentially, with the core, you could be moving away from feeling drained into a Ten of Cups. Hopefully, that indicates that, with the progress that you make to transmute this difficult situation, you are now going to move into a place where you no longer feel like your reserves are drained and where you can feel a sense of abundance that will actually allow you to feel whole again. Um, Clarify the Two of Wands and the Six of Wands reverse. So I have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. Clarify that one more. Okay, so the Knight of Cups in the reverse, Three of Swords in the reverse. There is going to be a profound alchemic process that takes place following the dissolution of this relationship, which is going to allow you to replenish your cup. Knight of Cups is an offering. In the reverse, it's a lack of an offering. Sometimes it can be fickleness. Three of Swords in the reverse talks also about getting over heartbreak. So whatever is breaking your heart, you're going to have to use that cup, pour it inwards, take a drink from it yourself. And what this will do, this will help you to release the toxicity that has been built up from your interactions from the past. Furthermore, it's going to allow you to move forward in a way that is conducive. Right now, with the Knight of Swords in the reverse, it's like, how do I see the way forward? How do I plan my attack, my escape? What is it that I need to do with the Two of Wands in the reverse? How do I plan to move forward into victory? Six of Wands in the reverse. 2 plus 6 equals 8 of Wands in the reverse. You feel blocked from this, from moving forward on this issue, indicated here by the 8 of Swords. So with these two eights, these are the numbers of the self. These are the numbers that tell us about how we are feeling as an individual self. That number 8 is also reflected in the infinity sign of the Strength card here, which then tells us, hey, you know, we've held on as long as we can. Whatever is falling apart, let it fall apart, and let's find the way forward. Even if it looks like it's a very cloudy day, there will be sunshine after the rain. I don't know why I felt like saying that. Um, I'm getting that song in my head, "Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone," but it can feel like a very cloudy path forward when you lose something. But rest assured that whether this has been the loss of a relationship that wasn't going anywhere, or if this was the loss of someone you cared about, um, understand it is really up to you to be responsible for your own happiness, no matter how bad things get around you. I'm trying to teach myself this, and I'm also trying to teach my friends this, that it is much better to fortify your house than it is to point your finger and curse the storm that arrives at your doorstep. And with that, in order for that to happen, you will have to believe in the impossible in order for that to take place. You can no longer rely on externalities, but you have to go within with this high priestess to find where your happiness lies and what it is that you're going to be able to do to make the quality of your life optimal, better, and stable and grounded. This groundedness didn't exist with another person, an external thing, something offered to you on a practical level. There's no emotions within this Ace of Pentacles. It is a solid, stable grounding, like the Ten of Pentacles. The ace is the seed that you plant for the Ten of Pentacles. When you plant a bad seed, you will not reap the rewards of the harvest of a Ten of Pentacles life. And that will in turn also make it more difficult for a Ten of Cups to come into your pathway either. Understand that also when you feel tired on an emotional level, ask yourself how you have been spending the currency of your feelings, your emotions, and your spiritual energy. We too often, when we obsess over something, when we focus on one thing, whether it's our possessions or relationships or what other people have done, or searching for something that we think will really bring us happiness, We deplete ourselves to the point where we cannot actually function at an optimal level just to be happy because we're constantly looking towards the outside world. And by looking towards the outside world, we're unable to really see where we're going. I hate to give you a little bit of tough love there, but that's what I see here, and I'm just going to read it exactly how I see it. Anyways, this has been Aluminum Tarot. Thanks so much for joining me for this reading. Libra, I wish you all the best, and try to understand that, for the Libras that this resonates with, definitely not going to be all of them. Your happiness is going to be your responsibility. When we try to look outwards for that happiness, it's never going to come. We don't look for our ships to come in. We know that they're coming in. That's what the Three of Wands is all about. And that gives us the certainty that we will succeed. Look within, and you will find those three ships coming in for yourself. If you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding that notification bell, and so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. And additionally, if you would like a personal reading with me, one that is in tune with your specific energies and not those of the collective, kindly reach out to me at the information provided in the description box below. It's been a pleasure reading for you. Until next time, love and light.